7,000 men brutally killed in Srebrenica. Their only crime, being Muslim.
What we are talking about is a crime against humanity.
The worst massacre in Europe since the Second World War.
We should have known better.
Innocents caught in the line of fire. Storyville, A Cry from the Grave, Saturday at 10:25 on BBC Two.
The day's snooker action in the UK Championship from Bournemouth in 50 minutes here on BBC Two after Newsnight with Jeremy Paxman.
The Conservative Party says it won't take foreign donations, so how come it's taken £1 million a year from this man's bank in Belize? Good evening. No sooner has Jeffrey Archer gone to ground than the Conservative Party calls in the police, claiming someone has hacked into their bank accounts. Tonight, the editor of The Times, which details Michael Ashcroft's donations in tomorrow's edition, defends his journalism and accuses the party of diversionary tactics. And the Tories have dumped him. Labour are trying to dump him. What room is there now for personality in British politics?
So I shouted to him, but he carried on pushing, and unfortunately the gantry came on top of me, catching me at the back of the head. The neck went, back, shoulder and arm.
Despite having his neck broken at work, this man was one of the 90% of workplace injuries that the Health and Safety Executive doesn't consider worth investigating. I'll be asking Michael Meacher, the Environment Minister, why so few cases are even scrutinised. And what are the chances of a renaissance across Africa? Eritrea was held as an example, now it's back at war. What will it take to make the vision a reality? The Conservatives have announced they're calling in the police to investigate whether someone has hacked into their bank accounts. The move appears to be prompted by tomorrow's edition of The Times, which will reveal details of the £1 million a year given to the party by its own treasurer, Michael Ashcroft, through a bank in the tiny American state of Belize. The story has raised Conservative hackles. In an extraordinary outburst, the Tory party chairman, Michael Ancram, has spoken of a series of dirty tricks being perpetrated by those who will stop at nothing in order to keep this government in power. He went on to say there is a climate of fear being created in Britain today. Dissidents are being silenced, opponents are being smeared. Now private bank accounts are hacked into in order to discredit and destroy anyone who stands in the way of this government's lust for power. Well, we're joined now here in the studio by the editor of The Times, Peter Stollard. Are you part of some conspiracy to keep this government in power?
When you say it's an extraordinary outburst, I think the only way you can really read Michael Ancram's statement is to think that Jeffrey Archer's driven the Conservatives quite mad. I've never seen a statement like this in all the time I've been observing British politics, and I can only think that this is just either some extraordinary diversionary tactic, or they really have just lost it over the attacks that have been made on them.
Do you know for certain that no illegal act was committed to get this information that appears in your paper?
We were given information about allegedly about the way in which money was going into the Tory party's bank accounts. We had that from reputable sources. No editor, no journalist can ever know precisely where information absolutely originated, but I'm pretty certain this information was clearly known to people. It was absolutely at odds with the Tory party's position. It showed that this money was coming in from these accounts.
Are you confident it was legally acquired?
Yes, I'm as confident as I can be. I mean, no journalist, no editor can ever know where information begins.
You will cooperate with the police investigation, will you?
Oh, absolutely. I'll answer any questions they ask me, but I don't think I'll better help very much.
Let's be clear about precisely what you're accusing the Conservative Party of by implication.
Well, it's very clear. It's a question we put to them. William Hague, when he was made leader, made a huge business about his break with the past. There'd be no more foreign donations. He said, we're going to not just be white, we're going to be whiter than white. And we were told, as part of our ongoing investigations into Mr. Ashcroft, that actually that wasn't the case, that in fact money was pouring into the Conservative Party bank accounts from offshore bank trusts in the Caribbean, and we thought, well, let's have a look at this. let's
he's
find out whether it's
Isn't
true.
Michael Ashcroft British?
Yes, he's joint British and Belize citizen.
Well,
yes.
in that case, why is it a foreign donation?
Well, the money comes from the Belize Bank Trust. Now, we had no idea at that stage that it even was Michael.